Hi everybody, my name is Tom Ingersoll. I'm a certified arborist and I'm coming to you today from Stockbridge, Massachusetts. We are at the Norman Rockwell Museum. And what we're doing is an annual day of service we call Arborist Day, where we put the call out to professionals in our region. Out here in the sticks, we do have some of the best arborists in this part of the country as far as I'm concerned. We're focusing on, frankly, what are ornamental trees. They're out in the landscape. They are not forest trees, but some great examples of one of our most challenging tasks as arborists is how to navigate this space between trees that are native to some forest somewhere in the world, right? And yet they have been planted as specimens here in this case, a historic landscape. Behind me are a couple of large honey locusts. They're probably between 60 and 80 years old each. I'm just guessing, I'm not sure. But because they're out in the open, they have developed with these big, wide habits. There's nothing but sun out here, so these trees are feasting on this exposure. They are photosynthesizing like crazy, and there's no particular motivation for them to grow straight and tall as they would in the forest ecosystem. So the problem with that is that they get really wide and they get really heavy, and the laws of physics say that there's a lot of leverage, especially when they started branching very low to the ground. If you can imagine the stereotypical tree with a trunk and then branches coming out, well, the lower those unions are to the ground, then those branches are longer, and those branches act as levers. If a big heavy wet snow or an icing event or a wind event comes along, it's going to move that branch like a lever, and that can cause, in some cases, catastrophic failure in trees. So what do we do about it? One of the techniques that we're practicing today is called crown reduction. Crown reduction is a form of structural pruning in the context of a natural system of pruning where we're not pleaching these trees, we're not building them into artificial boxes. We're trying to work with the tree's natural form, knowing that its form is unnatural because it's out here feasting on a lot of sun and growing, frankly, too many branches sideways. So we balance between instantaneously recreating this central leader, which we cannot do because we would take off way too many branches, and on the other extreme, leaving it as essentially a shrub. We don't want shrubs, we want trees. So we're reducing these leaders in the crown to redirect the forces in a more of a vertical fashion. And then those vertical central leaders are supported by smaller lateral stems that are supporting players, like in a play. And that's what we want. If a storm does come along and tries to weigh them down and break them, no harm done, okay? We've got some broken branches, but we don't have a tree that's been destroyed. That's structural pruning in a nutshell, and I gotta give some support to my crew. They're needing some direction. So I brought my laser pointer today, which is very handy for pointing at things and showing people what I'd like to see done. Thanks for your interest.